Friday, February 6th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Jacob Germania. Behind the boards, cooking it up. We still got the cologne. We still got Vic. We're never going to change those. It's like a part of it now. It's a part of the background.
I do want to put up a darts jersey.
Oh, you should put up like a dartboard behind there, like a little mini. Like I have the little mini Hammer keychain behind me.
I can't put once my current dartboard is cooked completely. That's a good idea.
Okay, I love that. It's a good spot for it. Anyways, we got a great show for you guys today. Starting things off, Jack Miller leading us through the last time I don't want to say the last time he's on the show, but last time he's going to talk football props, football bets, NFL bets until the next season. It's the last game of the year, the Super Bowl. Hope you guys have your plans ready to go. Hope you guys have your bets in. Do I? Of course I do. I had a little bit of a conundrum, but we solved it. Hope you got your bets in. If you didn't, we have a 5-hour extravaganza giving out Was it 5 or 6 hours? 5 hours, right?
It was over 5 hours.
Over 5 hours.
Just over.
Where we gave out 27, 28 different props. If you count my 3 props, it's 29. But one of them was minus 20,000, so I don't know if you want.
Well, Johnny gave out 2 as well.
Okay, so we got 30. We got 30. We got a couple more coming your way here. After Jack comes on, Pips is going to come on, talk some NBA player props. Also, just a little bit of the follow. Crazy that Pips comes on today. The day after Zubac gets traded, we were thinking about having Pips on yesterday. We didn't. We were close to like trying to decide. We're like, no, let's do Peanut Butter and Kirk in case anything drops live, and then Pips can come on the next day and sort of talk through his reaction to the trade deadline. And of course, because we didn't decide that, Zubac gets traded after the show. We don't get to react to it. We're going to react to it. Jacob, I know you have thoughts, but I want you to save it.
Pips is also a very big James Harden fan, so he'll have thoughts there.
I cannot wait for that. So we're going to get his opinions there, and hopefully he'll send us some stuff in terms of picks. So we'll see if he has anything for us today. And then finally, closing out the show. Excited to talk Anthony Dabbundo. You've seen him on this show regularly. He's going to come on. He's going to share a pick with us. He has his prop. He wasn't available for the extravaganza, but he said, hey, I love the Hammer audience. Appreciate you guys. So he wants to come on and share his pick here. So also, prop incoming from Hitman. So that's I cannot wait to have Jack on and react to that one. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be the first thing I ask Jack. Anyways, excited to get into the show for today. But before we do, I know I told you if you don't have your bets ready, we have a 5-hour show. If you're still that lazy and you don't even watch the 5 hours, first of all, what are you doing? Don't be lazy. Second of all, I have good news for you. It's the final pizza buffet of the year. This Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Forward Progress YouTube channel. Rob will be breaking down the big game and have some Super Bowl props to share. So if you watch the entire Super Bowl prop show, if you're watching this show and you eat up all these props, we're going to have more for you. And Rob's going to be giving them out, originated by himself, not by someone else, charging 25 cents more and then giving it out later. That's what other people do. Not Rob. Drew said that on the prop extravaganza show. Had me on the floor. Anyways, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, pizza buffet, Forward Progress. Go check it out. Best way to get prepped for the big game. Listen, if you're a football casual, which I feel like we have a very small minority of people in the chat who are football casuals. Pretty big football fans here. You can impress your friends with Rob's breakdown. You can go to the Super Bowl show. You can be the guy. If you have a girlfriend who you want to impress in front of your friends, you say, "Hey, watch this," and you'll know ball. So it's gonna be good. A lot to talk about. A lot happened in MVP award market last night. Pre-awards, a lot of people who had Tet McMillan at some good prices, like our producer Jacob over here, had a little bit of a when they saw Tyler Shuck get absolutely steamed through the roof.
He got hammered.
Was it a head fake? Was it bad information? We don't know what it was. A lot of people were convinced that maybe Shuck was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nope, Tet wins. The more interesting one, though, is I never feel bad for Joey Kanish, but today I did. Because I believe it was Sam Munson. Listen, you can vote. You have an MVP vote. You can vote for whoever you want. But him voting for Justin Herbert, it's crazy. It's outlandish. It's ridiculous. It's a farce. That's his choice. That's his vote. It seems like it costed us a tie for the winner of the MVP because, listen, now I'm just connecting dots here. It sounds like the way that Sam Munson, when he tweeted about Justin Herbert, he talked a lot about not liking Matthew Stafford as MVP. So just doing process of elimination here. If he didn't go crazy off the board, go Justin Herbert, probably wouldn't have gone Matthew Stafford. He would have gone Drake May. If you give Drake May one more first place vote, he would have tied Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, what would that have?
I don't know how that works out.
May ticket.
I don't know how that would work out. Maybe you get like a dead heat.
I didn't have the plus like 40,000 that Kirk had. But.
Yeah. I don't. Kirk also had Drake May and Pats to win the Super Bowl, which is like.
I always do preach. You gotta. I'm not gonna argue. You should read the house rules before you bet into a market. So I wouldn't be able to complain, but I did not read the house rules and how the MVP market would settle in the event of a draw.
Well, here's the thing. Kanish did, because on some exchanges you could bet a draw, so you had like a pretty crazy, like I think it was 100-1 late in the game.
Why would he bet that? Like,
well, it was obviously a great bet. It was off by 6 votes.
I know,
or 6 points, which is one first place vote.
But like, what's the logic there? Did he think it was going to be like just that close?
I don't know. Apparently, you can bet tie on MVP. Which is what we're talking about here, but I don't know if it's posted on sportsbooks. I think it would just be dead. I don't know. Honestly, we gotta look into this stuff. This is bad. It was Kanish. Josh Allen getting 2 votes is I disagree with the Josh Allen.
Not as bad, but those are also bad. Those 2 Josh Allen voters are lucky. Somebody was even fucking stupider than they were, so nobody's going after that.
I honestly kind of disagree because every reason why you would vote for Justin Herbert, Josh Allen makes a better case for that. Sure, maybe his offensive line wasn't as bad, but his supporting cast is way worse. His offensive coordinator is way worse. Every piece around him is way worse. He is clearly the one carrying the ship. The defense, at least the Chargers had one of the best defenses in the league. The Bills' defense was atrocious. So I'm not as mad about the Herbert one. The Allen one, but I'm mad about the Herbert one. Anyways, we've kept him waiting for long enough. Apologies to Jack Miller. He's in the background now. We're going to bring him up on stage. He does NFL over and establish the run, origination, all that kind of stuff. Jack, how's it going, my friend?
It's going good. I also was pretty perplexed by that Shuck steam. I didn't have a horse in the race, but I thought it was interesting for it to steam like that on the day of the awards show and then not even really be close.
So this is all speculation here, but like when I saw it, I was with my brother and we were kind of talking about it, and it's like maybe it's bad information, but I wonder if it's like someone trying to like head fake, like maybe liquidity on a sportsbook like FanDuel. Maybe it's like kind of smaller liquidity at this stage in the game. It maybe doesn't take a lot to move a guy like Shuck. Maybe like I was thinking, did someone try and head fake here, bet on Shuck to try and move it to get people to react on exchanges where they could all scoop up the no? Like what do you think it could have been, or is it just maybe bad information and then it just started to run?
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I mean, I know last year, like all of the awards kind of leaked beforehand. Like, so that's kind of like what I thought it was when it started, but then it just kind of like stopped at some point. On Polymarket, it actually moved back toward T-Mac, right near the end. I don't know like the order of operations in terms of which moved first between FanDuel and Polymarket. That would be kind of telling, I guess, to support that theory if FanDuel like moved first and then Polymarket reacted to that. I also don't know how much like money was actually in circulation there. Like I can't imagine like it's that liquid for offensive rookie of the year, but I could be wrong on that. I didn't look super far into it, to be honest. I also just thought it was like a little bit notable.
Yeah, it's just weird that we also saw, Jacob was saying as always, saw a little bit come in on Nick Amenawari for defensive rookie of the year, but I feel like I don't know. That to me is just like people who had Carson Schwarzenegger and just, wanted to maybe hedge just in case like a worst case scenario happened there, because like you could have got some crazy prices on Carson early in the year. They're like 20-1, 30-1, 40-1. So yeah, maybe just that's what it was. The other thing that I was talking about, I'm sure you heard me backstage when I was complaining about the MVP voting stuff. Do you have an opinion on the Herbert stuff? Like, do you like? I don't know if you've ever worked with Sam before. I'm sure you've listened to him on PFF, but like, were you as shocked as I was? Also, like, he voted for Brock Bowers last year. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I've never worked with Sam. I don't think I've ever really talked to him even. I don't know. I honestly don't spend too much time like dwelling on the votes. Like I just, there's like, a solid number of voters. I just kind of assume that some of them are going to do, let's say, stuff that I disagree with. So I wouldn't have voted Herbert, but like it doesn't really shock me that there's some off the board votes just with the number of voters there are.
All right, let's get into the Super Bowl here. So I don't know if you heard me off the top, but we got a Hitman release basically right as we went on air. I don't know if it's because Hitman saw you were coming on here or what the dealio is with that, but May interception, no, plus 115 is what he gave out. It's been out long enough now. It's been out for like 5 minutes now, so I'm sure he's okay with me sharing that on air.
Ecolt already put it in
in the chat. Yeah, it's blame Ecolt. Any opinion on that? I got to ask you.
Yeah, I can pull it up real quick. I'm pretty sure we show that as okay. Like I think that would be the only side to bet. We definitely showed under is better than over. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the game then. Talk a little bit about the game. Biggest thing coming in is the Nika Minowari injury. Any information there? How do you react to this stuff if a player is like, if he's playing but you know he's hurt, like you saw he was limping, like how do you quantify that for this? Also, like he's a safety, so how do you quantify for that? Like how do you guys sort of run things in the back end there?
Yeah, right now we haven't made any changes. I think that we'll continue to like take in. They have another practice today, so take in the new information. And truth be told, like analyzing like safety play and how a hampered safety would impact the Seahawks defense isn't my like area of expertise. But I think we'd have kind of like an internal discussion about if we want to change anything. It sounds like he's definitely playing, which is good for the Seahawks, obviously, but there was that video of him limping. It sounds like he'll probably be less than 100%. So we haven't done anything there yet. I imagine we'll see what the injury report looks like today. He didn't practice yesterday. We'll see if he gets anything in today. But it seems like he's going to play. McDonald and him were both pretty insistent that he was going to be out there. So, yeah.
All right. It seems like he'll be fine. All right. Other thing that I have most interested in, like a lot of this stuff has already been talked through. There's not really much there, but I've seen George Holani kind of get steamed up in the rushing and receiving market over the past couple of days. Also, Kenneth Walker sort of bet down as well. Right now in the rushing and receiving market, Kenneth Walker was upward in like the around 100, 109, I believe it was, down to 98.5. George Holani up to 25.5 on FanDuel. Which way would you lean for both these guys, and how do you think the snap share will look heading into this game?
Yeah, I think the usage will probably be pretty similar to what it was in the NFC Championship game. I think Walker's going to dominate carries. I don't think there's much question about that. I think it was 19-3 against the Rams. I'd assume a similar ratio there. But what was a little bit interesting was the receiving split. Depending on where you look, Holani and Walker were either like dead even in routes, or Holani was a route ahead. So Holani pretty much stepped into the receiving role that was vacated by Zach Charbonnet. Walker did still run a little bit higher route share than his seasonal average. But it wasn't like a massive jump, and Holani really did take on a pretty sizable role from a pass catching standpoint. And so we at ETR, we bet a Walker receiving under early in the week. On the prop show I was on Wednesday, I wanted to give out Ramondre over Walker receiving yards minus 106, but it moved like in between the time that I submitted it and when I actually went on the show. But I definitely think that there's some chance that Walker's receiving role is being a little bit overstated still. I kind of think it's been baked in. Obviously, these props have been out for like 2 weeks almost at this point. I guess 10 days or whatever. So it's kind of baked in at this point, but if forced to pick anything, it would be under on the Walker receiving stuff.
Under on the Walker receiving stuff, then. I have most RB receiving yards, Kenneth Walker versus Ramondre Stevenson. Right now, Ramondre Stevenson minus 136. I don't know if it, because a lot of times what happens with the show is that it'll steam out a little bit just based off of the other stuff that people have given out, the derivatives of like Ramondre Stevenson, Kenneth Walker, and come back. Was it at minus 136, or you were looking at like a 113?
It was minus 106. We make it just for transparency. We make it minus 124. So definitely would not bet the current price.
All right. Speaking of stuff that you would bet, anything that you have still available out there that you think we can snap up here on FanDuel? Anything you've already bet that you see either hasn't moved or has come back? Just off market stuff that or not off market stuff, but stuff that you've bet that you think is still good.
Yeah, I didn't browse through FanDuel before coming on here. The one I gave out on the show, I don't know if it's still up at FanDuel because FanDuel was the worst price, but I assume it might be up elsewhere. I think no two point conversion attempted is good to like minus 210 or so. I'm not totally sure, to be honest, if that's still out there or not. So I might be giving out something that's dead. I also I also don't know if this has moved, but and I have to give credit to Underdog Fantasy's Hayden Winks. He did all the data stuff on this one. But if Kenneth Walker under 3.5 yards on his first carry, around like minus 115 is still out there, I think that's pretty good. Just based on his splits on early downs this year and the Patriots defense with Milton Williams. But I'm not totally sure if I just gave out 2 dead props or not, because I didn't check the prices before I got on.
The no 2-point conversion attempt minus 210 is out there on FanDuel. I'm trying to see if I can find the first carry market. It's a little harder to find this stuff when there's so many props to dig through, which is part of the reason why there's often such good edges to find, because there is so much to dig through, but you got to look for this stuff. I don't know if that's available on FanDuel, but if it's out there, definitely should shop around. Just trying to find. I can't see it. I can't find it.
Yeah, I don't think that one was on FanDuel, to be honest. I think it might have only been elsewhere.
All good. All right. I do this every time with you. I force you to give us an anytime touchdown score, so hope you have one prepared for us here. Who is it?
I do. We actually don't show anything awesome for this game, which I guess makes sense given it's 2 days before the Super Bowl. But we have one that we show as about break even, and I just kind of like it personally. It's Matt Collins to score a touchdown.
Okay.
He came back in the AFC Championship game and was pretty limited. It obviously was also kind of a weird game, but he only ran a route on 45% of dropbacks. He was questionable going into that game. He did get in one full practice, but it was his first game back from IR with an abdominal injury. But before that injury, he had 6 straight games with at least a 13% target share. Kayshon Boutte had taken on a bigger role in the playoffs, and he still had the targets in the AFC Championship game, but he wasn't as productive with those targets. So I think with 2 weeks rest, with Matt Collins fully off the injury report now, and 2 more weeks to distance himself from that injury that landed him on IR, I kind of think there's a chance that Matt Collins is back in the wide receiver 2 role, at least from a target standpoint, behind Stephon Diggs. And so I kind of like gambling on his anytime touchdown. I believe on FanDuel it is plus 430.
Plus 430 on FanDuel. You nailed it. Someone in the chat, Sicko in the chat, asking, hey, you're not really showing too much here on some anytime touchdown scores. So what about no touchdown score? I'm trying to find a price for us right now. It's 175 to 1 on the no touchdown in the game.
I don't think we have anything on that, but I know that for the Super Bowl, there's like a bunch of like 2-way markets on touchdowns that we don't usually get. I assume that honestly that would be a way. I haven't looked super hard at it yet, but I kind of think that would be a way I'd prefer to go, especially because the books can't really like gouge you on prices like they can in these one-way to score a touchdown when they have to hang both sides.
Yeah. They also have first quarter touchdown, yes, no, second quarter touchdown, yes, no, third quarter touchdown, yes, no. So tons of ways to attack a yes, no touchdown when they have to hang both lines. Before you head out, I had to let the people know because some people don't follow me on Twitter on the show. I thought I had a banger tweet because Rob and Levitan were on the prop show together. And I'm like, wait, these guys look familiar. I'm like, we do this better every week on the Hammer Daily. You versus the guy they told you not to worry about. Look at that stuff. We outshine those two any day.
Oh, easily. No, I'll love to Rob and Adam.
Of course. I'll just in fun here. Also, I needed I was supposed to do research on this. I forgot to. You mentioned on the prop show that was it Kanish and so, I forget who was at ATR. Did you get any information on that about their
No,
beef?
I kind of like hopped off the show and totally forgot about it. I meant to look up the tweets though, because it was Silva and Kanish.
Silva, yes.
They're kind of similar personalities, to be honest. Which I could kind of see that leading to clashing heads. Or I could see. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me Kanish and Silva were like best friends or like mortal enemies. And it turns out that for Rob, they might be like mortal enemies or or something. But I honestly forgot to look any further into that or ask Silva or anything.
All right. Listen, if he doesn't like Kanish, I don't blame him. He's not a likable guy. Why would anyone like Kanish? Anyways, before you head out, there's one more question in the chat. I know what your answer is going to be on this because you've said this before where like it's very tricky to price rushing yard props for receivers. But someone asked if you like JSN over a half rushing yard at plus 294, which, you know what, I didn't realize it was plus 294. Any opinion there?
Yeah, so I'll just rehash it. Our wide receiver rushing modeling is like a weak point transparently. And so we don't really show anything on that, but I do know a couple of smart people who independently, like without working together, like the JSN rushing over. And so just kind of trusting them, I'm inclined to believe it's probably okay. But from our perspective, we don't really show it as good or anything.
Interesting. All right. Appreciate the knowledge as always. Wonder if you can cook up like a little crazy SGP here with like a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown score over rushing yards and like under passing touchdowns for Sam Darnold. Stole that one from Ecolt where, you know, maybe he doesn't catch the touchdown and runs it in. Who knows?
There you go. Yeah.
Could be something there. Anyways, Jack, before you head out, I feel like I keep saying that, but I have a question because this has been like at the front of my mind. A lot of people on Twitter are saying that they enjoy watching the Super Bowl alone. Are you in that camp?
No, I'm not. I'm not a Bears fan, but like my Bears fan friends were watching their playoff games alone, because they like couldn't stand to like the emotion of it was too much for them to be around other people. But I don't care about either of these teams. I wouldn't love to watch it if I was in a room full of people who like didn't know anything about football, but thankfully, most of my friends also follow football, at least a little bit. And so I'll just be kind of hanging out with them and watching.
Just bite your tongue whenever they mention their like 20-leg parlay of like Jackson Smith and Jigba.
No, exactly.
5+ receiving
that stuff does kind of get on my nerves, but you know, you got to deal with it.
You just got to bite your tongue. Listen, I'm sure you've been in the same boat as me. You try and tell your friends a million times, they just won't listen, and it's on them to figure it out. Just like it was on us to figure it out, and we ended up doing it. So, anyways, listen, Jack, appreciate you joining the show. I hope you enjoy your Super Bowl. All the best to you. Thank you for coming on through the entire football season. We really appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy your Super Bowl. Have a great rest of your weekend.
For sure, yeah. Thanks for having me on throughout the year, and yeah, you too. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Appreciate it. Great stuff there from Jack as always. The dynamic duo is what I'm billing it. Better than Levitan, better than Rob. Get those guys out of here. It's the new era is coming in. That's what we're calling it, the new era. All right, we got Pips coming on next. I'm excited. Excited to have him on here. He always does us a huge favor by staying late. It's like 6:23 right now for him, but he's staying late in office just for us. Just for us. He's going to talk a little bit about trade deadline. Going to talk a little bit about some picks that he has. Before we do that, quickly, it may be the last call for football, but you still have a chance to hit the jackpot during Super Bowl 60 on FanDuel, because with FanDuel's $6 million touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $6 million in bonus bets. All you have to do is opt in and place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or the last touchdown, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Doesn't matter if you're watching your favorite team or rooting against your rivals. FanDuel's giving everyone something to cheer for during Super Bowl 60. Just visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to get in on the action. That's FanDuel.com/forwardprogress for a chance to win a share of $6 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports book partner of Super Bowl 60. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliates of Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in require. Must apply profit boost token on select markets. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct pick. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut. Or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. For LA, call 1-877-770-7867. All right. Let's bring him on. You know him. You love him. He's an NBA props originator, co-founder of Props Madness. Pips, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, guys. Will be much better if he actually wins sometimes. But yeah.
It's okay. Listen, we've been up and down all year. At least you're not Kirk, who like loses, I think, like 90% of the picks he gives out on this show. So, I mean, that's a horrible way to sell us, but listen, we're transparent, we're honest, we don't mind saying we have winning days and we have losing days. That happens. So, but it's okay. Let's get the picks out of the way first, just because I don't want the stuff to move as it tends to does, like while we're live on air, if there's injury stuff that comes out. So you wanted to start us off with a Drew Holiday pick. So let's start with that one and talk us through it.
Yeah, so we are going to Drew Holiday over 16.5 points and rebounds. Let me just open up on the screen.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday, points and rebounds, 16.5. Thing about this one is just the minutes. He was on heavy restriction coming back from the injury, playing like 16 to 20 minutes, a bunch of games. Then the last game got 29 minutes. So kind of expecting him to be around 30 minutes per game. So if you take a look at the games when he's playing between 25 and 35, and then he averaged 31, he's averaging 22 points and rebounds a game. We have a 16.5 line, 17.5 plus 100, definitely the same type of bet as over 16.5 minus 130. Matchup, great. Memphis, we'll talk about the trades later, but they don't have a big on the team. Like they'll probably play some like forwards at the 5, which is absolutely insane. I expect them to be horrible in defense, but to play at high pace, so everything works great for Drew Holiday in this game. Also, all of this game came with Avdia on the team, with Sharp on the team, with Klingon on the team. So with all the guys, he average doesn't change, and Avdia is questionable. He is out. This is like a prime time spot for Drew Holiday. Matchup is great. 2 unders. He had 12 against the Wizards. Shot 2 from 14. Against the Denver had 14. Shot 4 from 13. So he is not covering only when he's shooting like 20% from the field, which is telling us that this line is way too low for Drew Holiday.
All right, way too low for Drew Holiday. It's minus 130 at FanDuel, over 16.5 points and rebounds. Best price in market is at FanDuel. Markets upwards of 17.5 elsewhere. So if you want that 16.5, you got to go to FanDuel. You got to scoop it up. What are you doing? Got to get ahead of it. One more pick for us here. Bobby Portis.
Bobby.
You got a little SGP for us here. Talk us through this one.
Yeah. I'll open the FanDuel on my screen for this one, and it just moved by some. It was plus 170, now plus 168. Still great. Bobby Portis, 15 plus points, 8 plus rebounds. The thing about this one is they just opened this line like he's playing from the bench and playing low minutes. And looking at Giannis when out, now Kevin Porter Jr. is back. That's true. But last 4 games without Giannis, with Kevin Porter Jr., he played 39, 39, 32, 35, blowouts all over the place. So he played like 36 minutes average in the last 4 with this kind of roster. I expect him to start. We can see the last 3 games he started, played 36, 36, 37 in blowouts. So when he's playing without Giannis and he gets 24 or more minutes, we can see that he averaged 18 points a game and averaging 9.6 rebounds a game. So if he starts and plays great minutes, he should definitely smash this line. So I'm going with 7-game parlay because I think both lines are undervalued. And plus 170 when he starts and gets great minutes. Yeah, just a kind of long shot because I expect more minutes, and then he should cook both of these lines.
Yeah, let's get him to cook both these lines. Bobby Portis to score 15 plus points. Bobby Portis, to score 8 plus rebounds, plus 168 over there. If you want to use your little profit boost token, you can slap in Drew Holiday for that one, and then there you go. All right, Pips, we wanted to bring you on here to talk about the reaction to the trade deadline. That's kind of like the main thing we wanted to talk about here. I was excited because I know Jacob was telling me you like James Harden, but then bang, after the show yesterday, Zubac, our guy, getting shipped. Talk to me about this trade. Was this the right move for the Clippers? Do you like the Pacers side of the deal? Talk me through this one. What's your opinion on the trade here?
I mean, it's a kind of a gambling part of the trade. Like one of the trades where like it's gambling. Like it's like going to casino and putting all on the black because this pick is mostly around around that first round pick, and Clippers have 48% to land that one. The pick has 1 to 4 protection and 10 to 30 protection, which means basically it's a almost 50-50 spot for them to get that pick. So yeah, kind of weird one. I love Zubac. I think he's a great player. I think we all do. Having a bit down season compared to the last one, but when you start the season from the injury and have some injuries throughout the season, you always play worse. So looking forward to this. Definitely Pacers needed a big. They had J Huff starting for them entire season, and that's rough, even though he played well. So yeah, the Pacers are getting ready for the run next season. They are looking great. They have 50% chance to keep their own pick, which will be huge if they land top 4. So yeah, I think this is a gamble, like the biggest gamble of the entire trades, and love it for Pacers. They got Zubac and maybe they keep the top 4 pick. And for the Clippers, I don't know. Yeah. They sold on Harden, then sold on Zubac. I don't know what's the deal there. I'm not a huge fan of Maturin. I think he's a very much limited player. So I don't know. Don't know that side.
All right, how's the fit going to be for Zubac? Is he going to look better, the same? Because that's what matters the most in this trade is how is our boy?
He's going from Harden, which is absolutely amazing partner to like make him look better, to Halliburton, one of the best point guards in the league. So he'll be fine. He'll do great there.
Yeah. I saw some people complaining about like the return for him versus Anthony Davis, which I thought was weird. But he's better than Anthony Davis. What was your opinion on the Anthony Davis trade?
I mean, he's not better than Anthony Davis. He's not better when Anthony Davis is fully healthy.
Yes. But he's not fully healthy.
Zubac is like playing every single game, every single year, while Anthony Davis maybe gets 30% of the game. So when you consider that age as well, then could say like the higher value probably could be on long term for Zubac. And yeah, I mean that AD trade was like, I don't get it for the Wizards. Why would they go for it? But then again, the price was so low that why shouldn't you go for it? So yeah, they I think Trae Young and AD are good additions there. But if I was Wizards, I would probably wait another year to get more development for my young guys. They have great young guys, so kind of weird. Like they are now combining like injury-prone players like Trae Young, horrible defense player. But if he can work on one team, that's Wizards now. AD, Sar, Bilal Coulibaly, and Keishon George, all good on defense. So yeah, maybe it works out. Maybe at least they can make a run for the playoffs next season. So there is that.
Maybe it works out for them. Let's flip over, talk Harden. James Harden trade.
Yeah, I kind of missed on putting his jersey on, but yeah.
That's okay. Clippers get James Harden for Darius Garland and a 2nd-round pick. Cavs.
Oh, yeah.
Cavs get James Harden. Is this them kind of going all in? I have Cavs futures from preseason. Should I be happy about this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
For this season, Cavs got better, definitely. For the future, probably not, but they kind of decided, okay, we want to win championship over the next 2 years. This next one, that's the James Harden probably window, and probably if they don't win in next 2 years, then probably Mitchell asked for a trade as well. So they probably knew that, okay, we'll try to win next 2 years. East is wide open, probably won't be this wide open in the year 3. So Garland also, first off, they have a huge issue with their defense with Garland and Mitchell out there. And now they got Harden, who is improvement over Garland on defense. I know people hate Harden for defense, but when he tries to play defense and when he doesn't have an insane load on offense, he can be decent on defense. not good. He won't ever be like great, but he can be decent. And the most important thing is size. Like Harden has 30 pounds on Garland, and I don't know how many inches, but a lot. So that's the biggest improvement there. Like they are now bigger team and can be better on defense. And Garland was trashed with injuries over the last 2 seasons, not reliable, especially when it comes to the playoffs, because he is not a guy that likes contact. He's not getting to the free throw line. So definitely improvement this season and next season. Also, they added kind of decent guys in Schroeder and Keon Ellis. Like they have like a, I don't know what you think about Schroeder, but experience is there, especially when it comes to FIBA, when it comes to playoff games. He can do something at least. Like he can be there for a few minutes, and then Keon Ellis, depending on the matchup, you can definitely count on his defense on perimeter, and he can shoot. So good guy to play next to Harden and Donovan Mitchell. So definitely like this Cavs team, and think they can win all. Think they can go to the finals, definitely.
Yeah,
I think they improved their odds to go to the finals.
Good to hear. I love to hear that as a Cavs backer. Do you have them now? I believe they are like for top of the board here in terms of coming out of the Eastern Conference, but I think it's very, very close. Let me just double check this here. Yeah, they're tied, but both them and the Pistons are plus 330. If you had to pick, would they be your favorite? I guess to
favorite or Pistons?
No, yeah, like they're tied with the Pistons, plus 330.
Yeah, I will have them.
Cavs better.
Yeah, I will have Cavs like if they face together, I will have them minus 200 to beat the Pistons in the series.
Okay, yeah. All right. Couple more trades that I want to get to. Pistons also made a trade acquiring Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric. Moving on from Jaden Ivey. Nothing burger for you?
I love Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he got to the Bulls where they have 1,000 guards, but I love Jaden Ivey. I think he'll be a great player. So Bulls got the one good guy there. Hopefully he gets the minutes so he can develop. But he got fucked with injuries. Ivey is a good guy. Ivey is a good guy, definitely.
All right, last one. We didn't get to talk about it a bit yesterday, but
I can quickly go rapid fire.
Yeah, I want to know your opinion on the McCain trade in particular, because like again, I don't know too much about him as a player. Like I watched him a lot in college, like of course watching March Madness and stuff like that. But since he joined the NBA like last year, what's your reaction to that trade for the Thunder?
As a Houston Rockets fan, I will definitely give that kind of return for him. It's like a cheap bargain, I would say. Like you're buying low on a player that showed that he could be really good in the season one. Then injuries, sophomore players getting injured to start the season is definitely rough. So good. I love this for the Thunder, especially they kind of need that kind of guy from the bench. I don't know how many minutes he gets this season, but for the future, definitely a great spot.
Rich get richer. Rapid fire the rest of the ones that you wanted to talk about here.
Just mentioning Porzingis to the Warriors, Kuminga Sanga going to the end. I hate this for the Hawks, but I kind of understand it. We'll see what they can do with Kuminga, but I hate the fit. Healed player options, so team options are not important. Porzingis, if healthy, can give something to Golden State Warriors, but yeah, they are like not great. Then going to the Vucevic to the Celtics, kind of surprising. But let's see if Mazzulla can do anything to make Vucevic being playable on the defensive side. On offensive side, he's great, I would say. So that's definitely something for them. They are good on defense anyway. So maybe if someone can make it work, it's Mazzulla. And yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about outside. We covered the Ivy. Yeah, I think that's about it. Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz. Okay, so that's the biggest one we skipped.
Yes.
I would say they didn't give much. I mean, they did give much, but not high value of picks. But I definitely interested to see how the lineup goes because they're so big. I am a huge believer in Keyonte George. Jacob knows that when we had the earlier shows. I was so huge on him, and finally this season he's showing that he's really, really good. And I'm love this lineup: Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Walker Kessler. Very interesting to see how this super tall lineup goes. My Houston Rockets played like double big lineups this season, and last season worked really well. Then got fucked with injuries, but don't have shooting. The Utah Jazz have, so I am definitely looking forward to this lineup.
All right, should be a good lineup to look forward to in the future. Yeah, the Jazz not high scoring team, but like improved defensively, but they're still gonna be bad with the corner threes, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Definitely the guy that gets guarded by Jaren Jackson Jr. But Kessler, amazing on defense.
Okay.
Jaren Jackson, the ex-defensive player of the year. This defense could be like going from one of the worst to one of the best next season. So we'll see.
We'll have to monitor the rubber band effect of it. Pips, are you going to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Maybe. We'll see. It's like 5 in the morning.
Yeah,
here,
I know.
So it's fuck. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, if you want any props, you know where to go. Super Bowl prop extravaganza. I have to do the little plug there for the show on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Pips, appreciate you joining the show as always. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you get to some skiing this weekend.
Not this one. Definitely. Still recovering from the last one.
All right. Appreciate you, Pips. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
Great stuff there from Pips as always. Love it. It sucks being in Europe for the Super Bowl. Like fuck
I did it once. It's truly awful.
It's horrible.
Truly awful.
It's horrible, especially where he is because he's also like in Eastern Europe, right? So it's even worse for time.
6 hours.
6 hours.
When I was in Italy, it was about the same. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
5 a.m. Fuck. Crazy. Well.
And at like 4 a.m.
Well, Suma's going to do it. I know that much.
Maybe Pips may not be aware that the Super Bowl's earlier than like an average NFL primetime game.
That's true. Well,
it's bad, but it's not as bad as he's suggesting.
Of course,
it would be like 1:30
in the morning. Yeah.
12:30. Anyways,
whatever. Not a big deal. All right. Before we move on, before we bring up our next guest, do us a huge favor here. Smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. If you want to do us another huge favor, share it with your friends. Be like, hey, there's these smart guys that come on the show to talk to some dumb guy. So if you want to listen to that, send it to your friends. We got great guests as always. Got me guiding you through things. I think it's a good show. We've been doing well with the viewership recently, so appreciate you guys. I know some of you are sharing it, which is good. Subscriber count's up. Everything's looking great. Let's keep it going. Yeah. All right. We got Anthony Dabbundo coming on here in just a second. Excited to talk to him. I'm gonna like throw him a little curveball here because I know he's been doing a lot of Olympic stuff, or not doing a lot of Olympic stuff, but he's gonna have some Olympic opinions. I'm curious to hear what he has to say for that. While we wait, let's rip through a guess the line.
All right, guess the line. We got some Super Bowl props to get into. Well, actually, there's one. I think we have a novelty prop for today.
Love it.
So
it better be total first downs in a game.
It is not, but it is the shortest TD scored.
It's 1.5
on FanDuel. Yes.
Unless
that was easy. I didn't make this.
What are we doing here? That's easy.
That one, any year you'd be able to get.
Yeah, it's the same every year.
So okay, you got it though. First try.
Come on.
We gave you a layup there. Next, we go to Netherlands total gold medals.
I was talking about the Olympics, saying Anthony Dabbundo. I know he does his Olympics. Me? I don't do my Olympic homework. I don't know anything about the Olympics. I don't even, again, had the same issue last time we played Guess the Line. I don't know how many medals are even being given out, so I can't even contextualize it. I don't know how many events there are.
You can like.
Are they good losers? They strike me as a country that can luge very well. Speed skating.
I think short track speed skating has been their more dominant area.
Okay, let's go 5.5? Higher, okay. 8.5?
Lower.
Okay, good window. 8.5 was my original guess, so I'm happy I got that little window there. 7.5.
Yes.
There we go.
Good job.
Okay.
Finally, Kawhi Leonard. He's one of the only guys left on this team.
It's got to be high. I got to start with 39.5.
Higher.
I thought so. 45.5.
Lower.
Okay. We got the range. 42.5.
40.5. Almost a 3 for 3.
Okay. That was a good one, though. All right. Chosen Sports got the he's wrong for the shortest TD there.
Which way the juice is.
That's fair. Yeah. 1.5, obviously juice under. Anyways. All right. Let's get into things. Final guest of the day. Final guest before we head into this wonderful weekend. He's a writer and a podcaster doing stuff over at The Ringer. You've seen him on the show regularly. He claims he's often wrong, but based on his track record, I would disagree. Anthony, how's it going, my friend? Oh, I think we got you muted. Give us a second here. It might be on your end.
I think his mic.
Yeah, I think your mic might be muted or maybe disconnected. We'll work through this quickly. It's all good. I'm excited to talk to Anthony today about, Super Bowl stuff. He's got some props for us. He has 2 props he likes for today, which I cannot wait. I want to get his live reaction to the prop that I gave out on the prop show, which Kirk said, gun to his head, if he had to bet it, he would take whatever the opposite side is. So, yeah. Appreciate that from Kirk. Appreciate that. Yeah, I can't believe Kirk. I don't blame Kirk for saying that, but the fact that he said that was kind of mean, no? Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe Chad agrees with you. Chad, you tell me. Do you like the? I wonder if it moved. I actually still haven't checked if it moved. I need to do that right now. Chad, what do we think about the under 38.5 first downs over on FanDuel at -113? Do we like that? Let me just double check right now. First downs. It did not steam. The market does not respect me.
Damn, you had hundreds, maybe thousands of people having exposure to make that wager, and you didn't even get enough action to move it.
Yeah, well, man, I don't know. I thought it was a good pick. Tom Conn saying he thinks it's a sharp line. Yeah, probably is a sharp line. I will say I didn't get the approval of Captain Jack like Ian got. That was a pretty.
Captain Jack vote of approval. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. You take that. Maybe I gotta reach out to him and be like, Jack, help! I need help.
Speaking of Captain Jack, I do want to go over from the video we did on Circles Off where we talked about the worst beats of all time. Captain Jack, I think, might have been the worst beat ever. So he bet you guys should go watch this video on Circles Off, where they talk through the worst financial losses and their worst bad beats. And his bad beat was there was mistake line on Jim Thome, I think that's his name, the MLB player. There's a mistake line where he bet on the under 2.5 home runs when it was supposed to be like a combination of like a few lines. And he absolutely hammered the under 2.5 home runs. And there were 2. He said in the video there was 1 instance in his MLB career where he hit 3 home runs. There was actually 2. But one of those 2 was indeed that game.
That is insane. That is a bad beat.
Yeah.
That's
just brutal. I mean, it's not even it's just brutal. Like you did everything right. You got the good line, the mistake line, you crushed it, and then
it's funny because Tom in the chat is saying China's video in the video wasn't a bad beat.
I
know, maybe that's why China's opinions he doesn't believe he doesn't have a bad enough beat.
It was
yet.
like a late comeback in a game or something.
Nah. Well, Judah's was also. I talked about Judah's yesterday. That was brutal.
I mean, brutal. I don't know. The more money at stake, obviously, the worse it feels.
Yeah.
But would you classify a guy sliding before the first down line a bad beat? I mean, is it a bad beat when you have Caleb Love first and last TD and he refuses to dive in at the 1 and he goes out of bounds?
Yeah.
That one sucked.
Yeah.
But probably not a bad beat.
Yeah. Well,
he's ready, I think.
All right. Let's bring him on up. Excited to talk to him today. Anthony, how's it going?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we're good to go. Love it.
Okay, I think the problem is that I use Safari instead of Chrome.
Yeah.
And that was a huge L by me. So we're back already.
Huge L all the time.
Yeah, I know. Do you commonly use Safari? You're exposing yourself right now. Be careful.
It's bad. I still have it set as the default, and I usually have both up at the same time. And there's a lot of past history with Safari that I'm just more comfortable with. So as I'm trying to pivot more consistently, sometimes it still defaults to the Safari for me. So I'm working on it. It's a character flaw.
It's okay. I appreciate you being open and honest on this show, being out there with your character flaws. I like to be out there as well, put myself out there, but a little bit of vulnerability from a guest never hurt nobody. I love it. you excited for the Super Bowl? I'm curious because there's been a lot of discourse online that I've noticed about people saying the most underrated, best way to watch the Super Bowl is alone or with your wife. And like, I don't have a wife or a kid, but with your wife and kid where you can put them to bed by halftime and then, watch the second half alone. Do you agree with that? Like, I don't know if you have a wife or a kid, but do you agree with that? How do you choose to consume the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I have neither a wife nor a kid, but I mean, growing up, my family always hosted the Super Bowl party. So I was the kid putting together like the block pool for the adults and the other kids who were joining in. And it's been fun 2 of the last 3 years because I live in Philadelphia and I'm going home to visit family for the Super Bowl. And the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, right? So that definitely changes the tenor of the party. I remember the first year when they played Kansas City, I had a lot of money on Kansas City. So I had to sit in the back very quietly and just kind of not acknowledge anything that happened for 3 hours. It wasn't the most fun experience. This year, I'm excited because we're all going to be pro Seattle, I think, in our household. And so we're ready to root on the Seahawks. But yeah, I watch with family and friends every year. It's an annual tradition in my family. They all know that I have a bunch of money on the game, but they're not constant. Like, I try not to talk about it too much because nobody cares about your bets at the end of the day.
I agree with you. And nothing's worse than being the guy at the Super Bowl party where, listen, it's like maybe a little different with you because you're with friends and family and like they've known you for a while. But like, of course, I have friends too, but they don't know like to what extent that, I talk about this stuff or bet on this stuff. So they just kind of know that I'm like in the sports sphere. And they just come around and be like, what do you think of my parlay? What do you think about this? And I'm like, do what you want, man. Like, it's garbage. It's going to lose. The 20-leg parlay is surely going to miss. The $1 to $10,000. It's probably not going to win. The 5 combination touchdown score where you pick every single touchdown, probably not going to win. Anyways, so yeah, I agree with you there, though. Best time to watch with the family and friends. Never a bad excuse to get together with people that you care about. I'll kind of let you pick which way we go. We're talking about the Super Bowl right now, so maybe we get into some Super Bowl props, but I also want to talk some award stuff as well. Which way do you want to go first?
Let's do awards, because I think there's a lot of debate about May and Stafford, and I think that there's a little bit of a surprise on my end that Stafford actually got over the hump. It was kind of a divide, I think, amongst maybe media and then the nerds online, where I feel like most of the nerds online thought it should have been Drake May. And I think there was then that media sentiment who ultimately decides this, that Stafford at this point in his career kind of deserved to get one at the end. And I think it's just really interesting, the psychology of how these markets work. We can even go back to last year when Lamar Jackson was statistically the clear choice over Josh Allen, but you could also made the case, well, Josh Allen didn't have to play as much down the stretch because his team was doing better in the standings. They had a lot more fourth quarters where he didn't really have to put up the numbers. So I think it's really interesting because so much of awards discourse in other sports like baseball, where we just kind of pick the guy who has the most wins or wins above replacement, or other sports where we have so many defined metrics, it does still feel like NFL MVP is one of the few. Yes, it's a quarterback award, but we don't have the same level of clear hierarchy of how it works. I mean, Matt Stafford didn't even win his own division, and here he is winning the MVP. So pretty wild. Yeah,
pretty crazy stuff there. Where did you fall in line with with who you felt like should have won the award? Because I know you referred to them as a nerd. Do you consider yourself a part of the nerd pack, or where do you fall?
I consider myself part of the nerd pack, but I also think I would have voted for Matthew Stafford. I think I can't get past the schedule stuff with New England. Yeah, like by DVOA, they face the easiest schedule of opposing defenses in the league. And I know that the Rams didn't have Murderers Row this year, but I also saw a funny tweet from Brandon Anderson. 11 of the 17 games the Patriots played this year, the team ended up firing their coach. And 3 of the other games were the Jets and the Bengals, who you could argue should have potentially fired their coach. So there's just so much benefit to the schedule that New England had, that Buffalo had, that, the Rams went toe to toe with, and arguably the toughest division in the league this year. So I think that's worth something to me. Stafford had more down games than May, but also had more high ceiling games and big moments. So I think that was what would have put him over the top for me. But like I said, I don't get a vote, and I didn't have a bet on it. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. No, that's how you can give like the most unbiased analysis, because you had neither a vote nor a bet. So like you have no horse in the race, no dog in the race. Someone who did have a horse in the race, dog in the race, or like, I guess they had a vote, right? I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it next year. Sam Munson, who I quite like, did some stuff for PFF a while back, but I don't know if you saw there's been this big Twitter thread about him voting Justin Herbert as the MVP. I believe if he would have had May 1st on his ballot, it would have been a tie, which would have been an interesting scenario there. Do you even want to give this the time of day to talk about it?
I do not think that Justin Herbert should have been voted MVP, but I also respect the idea that there's not just going to always be groupthink. And you may disagree with Sam. I certainly would, but I also think I respect him in a way, in the sense that he had a process that he went into it with. He had a belief about what that Chargers team really was, given their offensive line injuries, given their limitations, given what they were the last couple of years offensively. And he believed this. You can at least say that he did the work. He had a process. And like you said, we like Sam. So if somebody feels like they're doing the work and coming to a different conclusion, I will disagree and I will say why I think he's wrong. But I also think forcing everybody to conform or to participate in groupthink and to just follow along with the party line is not necessarily good long-term either.
Yeah.
So I respect Sam for coming out and saying he has an opinion and backing it up.
Yeah, it makes it more fun. I think we were talking about in a group chat today. It's like someone said, I'd rather have 5 Sam Monsons who just kind of go off the board a little bit here than just the guys who groupthink their way through it. But I think the groupthink is also kind of prodded along by some of the bettors, because it's like, we want to know where you're going to be. We want to all have a consensus on this. And also just the, I think just the nature of human nature behind an award. It's people don't want to, like you said, stick their neck out. They want to sort of go with that herd mentality, but good for Sam for not doing that. But I completely disagree with Justin Herbert, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the Super Bowl stuff. You had 2 props for us today. Talk us through both of them.
Well, I will say, in the time that I was having those technical difficulties, I saw that you talked about a prop, which I happen to also really like.
Okay.
And it's one of my 2. It wasn't one that I was going to give out yesterday. The one that I was going to give out yesterday was Ken Walker under 73.5. So you want to start with that one, or do you want to start with the first downs?
Honestly, let's go with the first downs, because I don't know if you heard this, but Kirk Evans, I don't know if you've seen him around on Twitter streets, super annoying.
I've seen him around.
Don't follow him on Twitter. Yeah. Don't follow him on Twitter. Anyways, we love Kirk here. I gave out my prop on the show on Wednesday. He was on the show Thursday, and I said, do you like it? He said, well, if a gun to your head, I was like, gun to your head, what would you pick? And he said, well, if a gun was to my head and I had to choose whether to fade or tail you, 100 times out of 100, I will choose to fade you. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
I know.
Yeah.
So anyways, I took the under 38.5. Are you on the same side as me here?
I am. Let's do it. I have never bet this in my life.
Okay.
I have never bet a first down prop, but I was thinking about this game and I was trying to think through all the different scenarios, because numbers wise, I'm pretty in line with the market. I think the total's pretty close to right. I think I made a small bet on first half under, and I was like, okay, you could see that. But I am a little worried about the variance of turnovers and negative plays in this game, with Darnold and May being inexperienced in big games, having, shaky track records. For Drake May, all the negative plays that New England's had in these playoffs. For Sam Darnold, he's been pretty clean in the 2 playoff games. We've certainly seen implosions from him in the past in big games. When he gets interior pressure, we know what that can look like. So I'm a little worried about fumbles, sacks, turnovers, leading to short fields, leading to points. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I don't really trust either offense to consistently move the ball in this game. I think they're all going to be relatively explosive compared to normal, because these 2 teams have been so good at hunting and finding explosive plays down the field. And then you throw in the risk of the potential sacks and turnovers. And I'm like, how do I actually bet this in the market? Because I'm not dying to bet the under, and I'm not dying to lay it with Seattle. I think you could make a case for alts with them if you really like their matchup defensively. And I thought to myself, what about first downs? And I was just scrolling through the book, and I was like, oh, FanDuel has this up. I'm just going to bet this. So it was actually the 3rd bet that I placed when I was going through props in the last couple of weeks. And I said, you know what? I've never bet this before. I'm kind of excited to sweat it. I'm not going to pretend to have projected out how many first downs each team's going to get in this game, but I do think this game projects for a bunch of punts, some potential turnovers, and then the occasional explosive flicker offensively that really changes the game. So under 38.5 first downs, I'm honored to know that we're going to be on the same side, and I can't wait on Sunday night when we cash this bet.
Let's get it to the window. I love it. We're almost exactly aligned with that thought process. My biggest thing was, like you talked about there, it feels like these offensive coordinators like to give up yards, give up downs to set up explosive plays. They're so like adamant on running the ball, using the run to set up the explosives. So that's part of the reason as well why I had it there. It's just the cuck mentality is what I like to call it for the reliance on the runs. I cannot believe I love this. What a great way to end this Friday. Before you head out there, you had Kenneth Walker as well. Give us that one.
Yeah, Ken Walker under 73.5. I know that this was a little higher when the books first opened the market last week. I think that there's just a little bit of still a deflation on the New England run defense in that market. And obviously, yes, Charbonnet being out means that he's going to be the bell cow. We know that Ken Walker is very explosive. However, what has this Seattle run offense really shown us at any point this year outside of the 2 games, against San Francisco this year? Like, they have not been a consistent running team. They are not good at running between the tackles. We know that New England, with Williams back in the lineup, has not allowed more than 60 yards to any rusher that they have faced this year. So I think this is a matchup where you're getting a ton of expected carry numbers. But again, if they're not successful at running the ball, I do think Kubiak eventually will have to pivot into a more pass-happy approach than he's used to. I think Walker could be big in the receiving game, certainly against this New England defense, which has struggled to cover running backs with their linebackers. But I think the under on Walker is still my favorite prop.
All right, 72.5 rushing yards. It is there for Kenneth Walker. Before you head out, before I let you go here, I force everyone on the show to give a touchdown score. They're just fun bets. They're fun bets. So I'm forcing you to do it. I don't know if you have one for each team or if you only want to give one out. I'll let you choose how many you give out here. Give us an anytime touchdown score for the game.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are going to pretty heavily focus on Jackson Smith and Jigba. That'll open up opportunities for Barner. I think Barner's the guy. Of course, if they get down to the 1 yard line, they'll probably show the flashback to 10 years ago when Malcolm Butler intercepted the pass for Ricardo Lockett. But this time, we know what Seattle's going to do. If they get down to the 1, it's going to be Barner. And even if they don't, he is a pretty good weapon in the passing game and could be a big featured part if Patriots make it their entire defensive mission to take away Jackson Smith and Jigba in the red area.
Yeah. Got a shout out E. Cold in the chat. Loves AJ Barner anytime touchdown. Loves it paired with under 1.5 passing touchdowns for Sam Darnold here, just for the
inverse correlation.
There we go. There we go. We have some sickos in the chat. I don't know if you know that. Speaking of sickos in the chat, last question for you before you head out. They're wondering if you went to Syracuse.
I did. Go Orange.
All
yes.
Right.
Newhouse 21.
We have some Syracuse attendance in the chat, some Syracuse alumni. So, anyways, Anthony,
feel free to message me. Always happy to chat.
Anthony Serbo, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Anyways, Anthony, appreciate you joining the show today. Appreciate you coming on. Any final thoughts before you head out on the Super Bowl? What are you most looking forward to do once? I guess you don't really have an off season because you kind of do everything year round. It's not just football for you. What are your plans post Super Bowl?
Post Super Bowl, I'm excited to finally dive back in fully into baseball again. I think that's going to be fun. We got March Madness coming up. I have not followed college as closely as I'd like to this year. So I'm going to have to really get caught up to speed if I'm going to have any pretend to know anything when it comes to March Madness this year. I've been, a little bit behind on my prep there, but yeah, baseball season almost in full swing, always a fun grind. And we also have the Olympics. I'm going to say Schwaler and the Swiss are 6-1 in men's curling. I'm not sure they shouldn't be priced a little bit closer. Obviously, Scotland's the clear favorite. Canada's in a weird spot, but I think that the Swiss are a little underrated in the markets.
All right, Swiss underrated in the curling markets. I absolutely love the Olympic play before we head out.
Yeah.
All right, men's curling?
Yes.
Okay, so the Swiss in men's curling. All right, I'll have to go bet that once we hop off here. Anthony, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, awesome stuff there. Enjoy the Super Bowl, Anthony. Enjoy everything. We appreciate Anthony coming. New favorite guest. I don't pick favorites, but when you're on my side for a prop, are you fucking kidding me? Let's go. I got so much shit from Kirk for that prop. Well, Kirk, maybe we go head to head. Maybe we go head to head here, Kirk. Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do us a huge favor. Smash the like button before you head out here. And if you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. Quick reminder, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, Forward Progress YouTube channel, Pizza Buffet. Rob will be breaking down not the entire slate. There's only one game. The Super Bowl, giving out his favorite props, talking about the game, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you tune into that. It's been a great week. Excited to watch the Super Bowl. Hopefully you guys have fun with your friends and watch the Super Bowl. If you drink, find a way home safely. Please do not drink and drive. Make sure you have all that stuff planned out. And finally, last thing before we head out here, I did something fun yesterday. A little bit of a secret word in the comment section. The secret word of the day today to let me know that you watched the video throughout the entire way is velvet. I want to see velvet in the comment section down below. I saw some driftwood yesterday. Velvet here today. Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys tuning in all week. Shout out to our guests, Jack Miller, Pips, Anthony Dabbundo, for joining the show, giving us all their knowledge. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, like you always do. Every day on the Hammer Daily. Anyways, this has been the Friday, February 6th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. We will see you guys right here next week. Enjoy the Super Bowl.